Hey everybody, in this video for my Soldiers of Stargrave series, I'll be discussing the Burner. Hey everybody, I'm Alan, with Bricks and Blocks Gaming, tabletop gaming with bricks and blocks and helping to build your gameplay experience. In the game of Stargrave, flamethrower carrying burners are a scary soldier to face at close range. In this video, I'll be discussing their stats and equipment, how flamethrowers work, a burner's job in your crew, some tips and strategies, and give my opinion about them. So let's get to the bricks and blocks of burners in Stargrave. For their stats, they have a move of 5, fight +3, shoot +2, armor of 11, will +1, and 14 health. They carry a flamethrower, a pistol, and a knife, and wear heavy armor. Hiring a burner will cost you 100 credits, and they're specialist soldiers, so hiring one of these will fill one of your 4 specialist slots. When shooting a flamethrower, instead of using the figure's line of sight, you instead use a template that can be found in the back of the book or can be downloaded at ospreypublishing.com. The template is 8 inches long and tapers from 3 inches wide at the end of the flame down to a point. The burner simply places the pointed end at their base, and anything under the template will be targeted with a shooting attack, using the figure's shoot modifier, and that attack deals +2 damage and ignores the target's +1 bonus for light armor and +2 bonus for heavy armor. Combat armor, however, still provides its normal protection. Also, only solid cover counts when determining shooting modifiers for flamethrowers. This is kind of subjective wording, but gives the example of a solid wall counting, while a fence wouldn't. And a figure completely obscured from the shooter by solid cover will not suffer an attack. So make sure to define your solid cover with your gaming group. And since smoke is not solid cover, you can fire flamethrowers into smoke clouds, targeting figures under the template as though the cloud wasn't there. Keep in mind that flamethrower attacks don't distinguish between friend and foe, and since it uses a template, if a figure that's in combat falls under the area of the template, every figure in that combat will suffer an attack. Burners serve as your crew's short-range shooters, and they can deal some serious damage once they get close enough to their enemy to use their flamethrower. And their +3 fight and heavy armor can help them get to these up-close positions safely. Of note is that burners are the only of the combat-focused specialist soldiers to have just +2 shoot, but they make up for it with the extra damage and blast area their weapon delivers. I think the ideal thing to do with a burner is to send them toward either the center of the board or after one of your opponent's loot unlockers. From the middle of the table, they work kind of like having a knight in the middle of a chessboard, with their attacks being able to leap over cover while threatening many different strategic locations on the battlefield. And sending them after loot unlockers is a great idea because those figures can usually find places to hide from long-range attacks while working their trade, but are often helpless against a threat that can get up close. Another good idea with the burner is to use their flamethrower to hunt down enemies wearing heavy armor. Ignoring this type of armor in particular is the same as gaining an additional +2 bonus when compared to any normal attack against that figure, which really maximizes the flamethrower's usage. Something to remember is that burners do carry a pistol, and while it probably won't get much use, it can come in handy if their flamethrower is jammed or destroyed, if there are friendly figures that would end up in their flame zone, or if you need the slightly longer 10-inch range it provides. Due to the burner's limited effective range, I think these soldiers grow in value with each additional piece of terrain placed on the table. While they can still be useful if you tend to have fairly open battlefields, they really shine when line of sight is limited. Mostly because everyone else is hindered by this, while they don't really care. However, their 5 move can make it a little difficult to maneuver them around a crowded table. And since they have to get close to be effective, a good counter-maneuver if fighting against a burner is to charge into combat with them, where they can't use their flamethrower, and have to resort to stabbing with a knife. In my video about commandos, I mentioned those soldiers were really one-dimensional, focusing solely on combat. But I think burners are even more laser-focused. Commandos at least have the option of shooting or throwing grenades, while burners just burn stuff, and their slow movement and just +1 will make burners equally as poor at loot unlocking and carrying as commandos. Even though there are some negative things about burners, their ability to target an area as large as the flame template, while ignoring some armors, some terrain, and dealing +2 damage, means they really have the potential to deliver some serious damage on the battlefield. And hiring 1 or 2 of them can really strike fear into your opponent when they see these soldiers charging across the tabletop toward their figures. If you're enjoying this content, feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss a video. And be sure to let me and the community know in the comments below your thoughts about burners in Stargrave. I'm Alan with Bricks and Blocks Gaming. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.